could have been so different for many of the players that were left in this episode, but now we know who stood victorious. Kate, as the lonesome traitor, decided to murder Sheree. It was a choice between her and Trishelle, and I think Kate picked the wrong one. Though not because it would have changed things for her. There was no hope in this playing out well for Kate. A different murder would have helped one or two of the other faithfuls.
And what I have figured out is Kate is a traitor.
While Sheree figured out Kate was a traitor, and Kate thought Sheree would be a problem for her game, Kate didn't realise that Sheree was the least of her problems.
He acted funny yesterday. Like either she got played.
Yeah, she was like...
something. It just seemed way too personal.
I think Kate is a traitor.
Kate's behaviour at the previous round table towards Phaedra really sent suspicion her way from most of the players.
My gut tells me Sandra is a traitor.
It looked like CT, Sandra and Trishelle were voting for Kate, and Kate and MJ were voting for Sandra. But that's not how it turned out. The way that banishment went was a surprise. I didn't think Sandra would be banished, but I did think that as long as CT and Trishelle was in the game, Sandra wasn't going to be amongst the winners. Everyone else voted to banish Sandra, while Sandra voted for Kate. CT's pivot to vote Sandra when him and Trishelle agreed to go for Kate left Trishelle with some questions. Before I talk about the fire of truth, I just have to ask one thing. Do you seriously believe they finished that challenge in under 60 minutes? Because I don't. I have questioned some of the actual time taken for these challenges, and I remain skeptical. Now to the fire of truth. CT, MJ and Trishelle voted to continue the game. Kate voted to end the game. CT, MJ and Trishelle voted for Kate, while Kate voted for Trishelle. The look between CT and Trishelle made me think they weren't going to end the game with MJ. MJ voted to end the game, CT and Trishelle voted to continue. I was actually shocked at not only that decision, but also that it ended up being a three-way tie. MJ voting for Trishelle, CT voting for MJ, and Trishelle voting for CT. I wasn't expecting Trishelle to do that. I was just like MJ, watching the conversation between CT and Trishelle go down. Trishelle mentioning the move on Sandra earlier that made her doubt him, and also referencing when CT lit the fire to save John and not Trishelle. The votes happened again, and CT and Trishelle voted for MJ, while MJ voted for Trishelle. Meaning that as faithfuls, CT and Trishelle shared $208,100. It's a shame for MJ that she was banished. The lesson we've learned is don't trust a pair of gamers, especially ones that have known each other for 20 years. Now that this season has ended, part of me feels a little bit disappointed with one aspect of the season. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of this season I enjoyed. My issue is that I think every pick as a traitor was the wrong move, regardless of if they were the producer's pick or recruited. Looking back, I think picking Dan to be a traitor was too obvious. Not knowing who he was beforehand, everything I heard during the game would lead me to believe he was a traitor. You wouldn't even have to show me footage that would say it. Also, he wasn't very good when he didn't have a cloak on and he was warned multiple times. Recruiting Parvati was also too obvious. Janelle clocked her before she was even made a traitor. If you wanted to go to the end of your pick, why would you pick the person who already had suspicion on them? You would only do that if it's someone you want to be banished, and Dan didn't want that. I don't believe Peter's plan was the gotcha for her as it was for Dan. I believe she would have been banished without that. Her association to Dan and having him as her known main ally killed her game. I think players from Survive and Big Brother were too obvious as picks. If the producers had instantly picked one from the challenge or someone else was recruited, it could have provided something different. I could understand why Phaedra blackmailed Kate, but there was a better strategy. Blackmailing Peter would have been the move. To a lesser extent Trishelle, but the heat was on Peter, so using him and then having him banished would have helped her. I won't be commenting on the reunion episode, but I'm sure there will be some interesting exchanges about how certain things went down. With the official confirmation that the show has been renewed, I wouldn't be surprised if season 3 ends up being another celebrity version. I wonder if they were considered doing 2 seasons in a year, so that one is a celebrity season and the other is a general public season.